It's Friday, and I don't know what I came on TV without my glasses. Oh my God. Anyway, if you already know, it's Friday, and I'm so excited. It's the best time for the boldest, I mean the juiciest, and the most unapologetic gists. You know, here on your favorite show on Jasiri. So ladies, you know it's time for what? Hot Topic Special! We need to all do drum roll! Better.
Sorry, Lola.
Who's Yes, what's next, Catherine? Because I see not.
It's amazing a few seconds to us welcoming you to the show. It was crazy what happened behind the scenes. But you heard right, it is Hot Topics Friday, and today we're coming in hot with all the conversations you've been buzzing about all week long. We've got all of the latest headlines, the hottest of topics, and everything else in between lined up, set, and ready to serve. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. And talking about enjoy, boy, have we enjoyed having her back on this table with us? Lola, am I right or am I right?
I already miss her. She's been so awesome. And you know, she's dressed, she's given us back-to-back fashion from Thailand to Bali to Nigeria. Buki has been serving looks on the show.
And you know, we haven't had the chance to be calling Tolu
But you know, this is such a wholesome time. Maybe because Buki's around. We never had no call for meeting. Thank God. Oh, last year was hell.
Oh my God.
Every midday we were doing post-up. Check this. Oh my God. Thank you, Buki, for being so cool.
Honestly.
Thank you.
We love you so much.
Welcoming.
Like, I have not stolen anything since you came, not even your earrings.
It's my last day here.
Oh, wow.
And time does fly when you're having fun. And I must say, it has been so much fun on the show with the ladies of Jasiri. I've had a blast.
Wow.
The hot topics today, they are sizzling, they are hot, and our guest, my personal friend, I call him Oble. You'll meet him later. This table. Anyway, we didn't quite get to talk about Kat's banging brother.
Oh, yes.
Because we were so astonished by her audacious cousin.
Jesus.
Equatorial Guinea's first son, who sold an entire national aircraft and kept all of the proceeds.
Catherine's family, they do the most. And her cousin and uncle is Paul.
We're done with this yesterday.
How can we be a whole Obiang Unsue?
Well, let me remind you. A court in Equatorial Guinea has sentenced a famous senior official, Baltazar. Even the name, Steph, will give you something. Baltazar Ebang Engonga. To 8 years in prison for embezzlement of public funds. Well, we know his backstory. The court did find him guilty of diverting hundreds of thousands of dollars in supposed travel expenses straight into his own pocket. And he's not just serving a jail term, but he's also to pay a $220,000 fine. Now, it's quite interesting that all these things are happening just months after he shot to notoriety when he leaked sex tapes with notable officials' wives. Now, I think their wives, their concubines, their girlfriends, all kinds of things. Well, they surfaced online and they were shocking.
Yeah.
We all know how banged at least half the population of women in the country. But should we celebrate the swift level of justice here, or should we raise our eyebrows to this one? I'm just saying, but you know, what do I know? I'm just a TV presenter. Right?
What a way to...
Before the reactions, I'm actually curious. What is happening in the lives of those women at the moment? The woman who bangs their banger.
Yes.
Yes.
But
what
do you
is
know that?
happening in their lives? Like
Nothing.
between them and their husbands, you know, their jobs and everything. you know, what is happening? I'm so curious because we've only seen
curious
Fifth
about
Justice
what?
for what's his name, Balthazar. But what about them? Because I keep saying this is definitely not
the justice
about
has nothing to do with.
embezzlement.
But the justice has nothing to do with.
So the women now, what happened to them?
What happened
to them in what sense?
Yeah, like what's happening? And have they been divorced? Have the husband divorced them?
Are you not a journalist? Take a leave and go to a gonga and bring back a feature story. After the lives of the women, a gonga.
Yeah, I really will not mind. We'll go together.
Not you and I. Because I found out that the standard of morality that we have in West Africa, East Africans and maybe South Africans or other parts of Africa, I think they're more decadent than us.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Nigerians are holy. When you are comparing them to their likes, like maybe Tanzanians or... I have seen some things that I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's why your eye is not really working like that. Let's take some reactions.
Let us take some reactions.
Let us take some reactions because I'm sure they are quite hot.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Knowing things is realizing he's paying for the sins of sleeping with the wives of many bosses. Okay? Iriolua says this. Okay. Ghana Social Unit says, so with his serious urge for sex, how would he satisfy himself? That is what is worrying. Dr. Rich Prayer says, look how efficient and effective other countries are in implementing their laws and protecting their state's integrity. In SA, we'd still be waiting for a commission of inquiry to have its first sitting because one of the commission's members has gone AWOL and the inquiry can't begin without him. My brother, that is SA. Let us tell you what is happening here.
All right, this one says, I mean, they have to find something to charge him with. Adultery and having records of his sexual escapades is not really a crime.
Yeah, it wasn't.
This one here says, it's from Trev Bill. It says, there's no way he would have escaped it. Interesting to see how long he was jailed for and if other people implicated received comparable sentences.
Yeah, that's answers to you too. That wants to know what happened to the women.
But for the embezzlement also.
Mambo Africa says, will the personal scandal and the leaked tapes have any bearing on the appeals process or the severity of his prison conditions? Or are the legal proceedings for the corruption charges entirely separate? Okay.
So he was talking about, you know, if other people got comparable sentences. No, we're not talking about, you know, his escapades and everything. We're talking about, you know, when it comes to embezzlement, because he definitely did not do it alone. So what is happening to those people?
How do you know he did not do it alone? He's a senior official. How do you know he didn't do it alone?
I'm very sure he didn't do it alone. Very, very sure.
Okay, if we're towing that line, I would say research and data and, you know,
experiences.
Thank you.
Yes.
Show that they don't act in isolation. There must be someone you have dirt on. You must have some sort of leverage. Let's say leverage. You must have some sort of leverage on the people that you can coerce into getting what you want done.
The money is coming from somewhere.
Exactly.
As far as I'm concerned, I think Equatorial Guinea is a very rich country.
It is.
I never used to focus on them like seriously.
Because they are a tiny country.
Just like you rightly enlightened us about how small the country is and how, you know, they have. I'm sure that if he did embezzle,
you say if he has been found guilty, what if he did embezzle?
because
is he taking the fall for somebody?
You know, annoyance and anger can make you set him up completely. But, what he did.
Allegedly.
He said, lawyer, what legal angle can we guard him on? Say, sir, remember that last time you didn't submit his paper?
Let's use it.
I'm just being dramatic. Actually.
I know.
But I know that if it's embezzlement, it can't be the only one, because even if it's at the helm of affairs, you can't chop alone. There has to be other people too. Maybe they are just lower in ranks if he's a senior official.
Yes, there's a high possibility he embezzled for others as well. So
listen, and if he's sentenced to between 6 and 8 years, you don't be
speculation.
surprised if he comes out after 3 years, after doing 3 years, and saying maybe 3 years as a VIP in prison, making it as comfortable as possible.
Do you know how welcoming prison will be to him?
Do you understand?
Especially if they took him to prison that is for the females.
Then and the prisoners, they will be asking for tutorials.
That person that asked the question about how would he satisfy himself?
Yeah. My brother,
well, they say,
there are female prison officials.
There's spousal visits as well.
What's wrong with you? Why are you being so holy? Well, there are female...
Does he need spousal visits? All he needs to do is
spousal out visits. He just has to be at home with his environment. He would make sure that he's very comfortable.
How do you know?
Not necessarily.
Do you know how many female jailers have seen some of his prowess? I'm like, coming to us free of charge? I need to get some a little bit of the action.
Yeah, and then
it just might not be recorded.
Whether we like it or not, that man went viral.
Viral like fire.
Several countries. And the unanimous response you'd be getting was women looking forward to, oh my God, if I could experience this kind of experience. So it's amazing.
But the amazing thing, do you know what? I would want somebody to do a real documentary on him. Because in all the videos... and
make him a Netflix star.
The few ones I saw, Wookie, they were consensual. None of those women acted as if this was forced upon them.
Yeah.
And they were not 1, 2, 3. They were a lot.
You see,
so there must be something that the guy says.
That's it. And there had to be a...
I think there was word of mouth referral.
Okay. Let's put word of mouth referral in there.
This guy sells good market.
Doesn't it highlight a bigger problem? How unsatisfied many women are in their marriages, in their relationships, and in their... Because, like you said, from the explicit videos that were released and were online, it looked consensual. And he's a man that seems charismatic with the gift of the gab, and it didn't seem like he was coercing anybody to do what they didn't want to do.
And different
That's why I say
women.
it begs the bigger question.
Yeah.
How unhappy... What is the state of affairs in marriages across the world?
They would allow themselves, just say, well, I'll
but
throw caution to the
I think
wind.
it must have also been fun for them as well. I mean, in some videos
Adventurous?
you can... Yeah, adventure.
Yes.
In some videos, the women were looking towards the camera. So they knew it was there.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's not as if
like they were not aware.
And if it was not consensual, and if it was a case of blackmail, there would have been so much more in the courts. There would be so much more filings and case against him because of that. But there isn't. Not one peep came out of that thing, except the fact that...
He must be the finest man in Equatorial Guinea.
No, he can't be.
I'm just
If it's
It's not like he's ugly or anything.
exactly, but no.
But for me, though, there were some aspects of it that I found very disturbing. And that is using it like his office for some of these his escapades. At least there should be some kind of decorum. That's a public office.
Oh, what do you say about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky?
That was a one-off.
Was it?
But this was
it a one-off?
regular tryst, like a setting that he uses from time to time.
So is that safe to then say that these things cannot be totally eradicated from the occupiers of these seats?
Should we not, let us not discuss our everybody's experiences to couches they've seen in people's offices.
True, though.
It will be very terrible.
They are even blankets.
For morning radio. But Egonga, I'm sure a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing him in prison. The men will be looking for tutorials, and the women will be looking for a little bit of...
Isn't that crazy? You're in prison for embezzlement. It had nothing to do with what you did.
Yeah.
But people, you're going to have fans in prison who don't care about your embezzlement prowess. They're going to look at something else that you were famous for. So it doesn't... Like Lolo said, maybe they just said, what can we use to slap him? Because maybe you just saw how...
Because none of their wives were screaming in the video and saying, no, no.
Well, a man keep banging. Let's go.
Right, well, I think with that, we'd actually have to take a quick break now to usher in our guest. Welcome back. You're still watching Jasiri here on News Central TV, and I have to say this again. Thank God it's Friday. Remember, you can join the conversation on all our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. Now, our really hot guest for today is here with us, and we are excited. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, joining us today is someone whose lens does not just capture moments, but transforms them into timeless stories. He is a celebrated creative photographer, visual storyteller, and the creative director of Insignia Media. Now, with a career that has set new standards in Nigeria's creative industry, he has worked with some of the biggest brands, artists, and platforms, leaving his distinct mark everywhere he goes. Please please make welcome to the Jasiri table for the very first time the dynamic Kola Oshalusi. Roll it.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Before they reveal you.
Oh, boy, that money is good.
Yes.
That money is good.
Welcome, Kola.
Kola, why must you show yourself?
No,
everywhere?
I mean, it's Uble now.
You like it like
Anybody that
that?
does not respond to Uble is an enemy of Uble.
Okay. Kola, welcome to Jasiri.
Thank
oh,
you.
my Lord.
It's such an honor. It's such an honor to be in the midst of
This is who Kola is. This is how Kola is. So sometimes when you see this side of him and then you see him professionally, where his photography has captured culture, has captured fashion and some of the most defining moments in Nigeria's creative scene. Although people say you must be a little bit cuckoo for you to have sense if you're a creative. So Kola, I ask you today, how do you balance, not this part of you, but just how do you balance telling your authentic stories and still sharpening that creative edge that you're known for?
I mean, life is all about balance. And what I do when I work, I mean, like you said, there's just two parts of me. The part that nobody ever knows. I think the part that a lot of people know is the, it's work. But you know, I oblate, but I mean, it's understanding that life itself is about balance. The only way we have the day is because it's also a balance between light and darkness. So it's for me to always ask myself some very critical questions when I create. Why? Who? Why am I creating? Who am I creating for? And what am I creating? And every time I work, I think that's what defines how I create. I don't create for the trend, but also trend is important. I don't create to criticize, but criticizing your work and criticizing, social issues and norms is also important, as a creative. And the balance of this is what defines anyone. Anybody can create anything, but nobody can create like you do.
Yes.
And everybody wants to see a part of you in everything. And I think those are the things that pull together over time and has defined how I work and how I create.
Yeah, from the idol worship look from booking to let's begin.
You are just speaking 30 years. You can see Kola outside on the street.
No. But I think everybody has experienced Kola differently. I've known him for a couple of years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
his creativity stands out. When you say it transcends time, he's one of those Nigerians that are creative that we should study like a book. So back to serious things.
Yes.
Like somebody on this table feels like she owns you more than we do.
Yeah, I know, right?
Our first story today is actually a continuation from our conversation last week with Funke Treasure. I'm telling you, even after the show, we were debating for hours, honestly. Here on this table, we've always had different kinds of opinions when it comes to marriage, love, childbearing, single parenting, and of course, motherhood. Motherhood has always been a deeply personal but yet a widely debated subject. But in recent days, it's really taken center stage in public conversations. From Toke Makinwa's pregnancy announcement that literally set social media buzzing, to Jim Iyke's controversial remark that single mothers need a male figure to properly raise children. We've had several guests sit with us on this table to share their perspectives. Some say marriage isn't for them at all. Some just want a sperm donor. And others still believe in true love and the traditional family path. So this time around, we have decided to take Jasiri to the streets directly. We want to hear from everyday women. What does motherhood mean to them? Do they feel pressured by society to become mothers? And is marriage still seen as a necessary step before having children? Here's what they had to say. I'm so curious to hear it.
to become a mother one day, someday.
Yes, every woman is meant to be a mother. That is the nature of a woman.
Yes, I am. I'm interested in being a mother one day because I saw how my mom raised us, and it's something I've always admired.
The motherhood journey is a beautiful one that I would love to experience, so I feel that's why.
Children are a blessing from God, and I think they really help with your old age and all that.
It's a fun thing to have kids. Like, why would you just be without having kids? It's just somehow.
Marriage is very attractive. I want to have my family. I want to have my husband. I want to have romance. I want to have all of that. And I believe that God's time is always the best.
I think marriage should come before children because, number one, I'm a Christian and my religion highly, no, not even highly, that is what my religion permits. And number two, a child needs a family environment to grow properly.
Marriage should come before having kids. But if you eventually have kids before marriage, it's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. Personally, I don't believe in anyone putting any pressure on me. Yeah, I'm from an African home where your parents are there trying to tell you, okay, when are you bringing your man and all of that. I've already told my mom this thing before. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, I be on my own.
I think the society pressure women to have children. Your mother, your auntie, your friends are getting married. You are doing bridesmaid every year, but your own has not come. You feel like you are getting old, and even having a child is better than not having anything, and there's menopause.
No, my mom is actually not like that. But mostly African mothers, they like it. There's always pressure on
My family's already saying, get married, get married, get married. Even my grandma, get married, get married. I'm like, y'all should chill. Like, it takes time. There's pressure. I don't think there's anybody that would say, okay, they don't face obvious pressure at home. Like, there's pressure.
They do, and the problem is it's not even our fault. We're not even the ones at fault. Like, 80% of ladies are ready to get married at any age if they see a good man. So the men should step up their game.
I mean, I have a lot of friends that are single moms, and most of them, if you get to ask them, okay, what is your intention? When they are in a relationship with a particular person, what are your intentions? They will get to explain to you, see, they are in for this, they want to spend the rest of their lives with this particular person.
I don't have much to say on that. I'm still single, so I don't have an idea of what to say.
Well, religiously, it's not advisable. And I'm a religious person, so no.
I don't know, it's our choice though, but as for me, it's not advisable.
I don't have a particular feeling. It's a choice. It's what you choose. I cannot judge you for your choices.
I don't want to be a single mom.
It's hard doing something like that alone. So you can't say, oh, I enjoy being a single mom. Sometimes you need that extra help. You need, someone to assist you with the kids. And it's not just nanny. You need someone you share a bond with.
With the depression that comes with raising a kid alone, I don't think I'll be mentally strong enough to raise a kid alone.
Okay. You have a 22-year-old daughter?
Yeah, she's 21.
21.
Young man like this,
So
young mature child.
Would you pressure her to get married at a certain age? And what age would you be concerned that she's still single or unmarried?
So I have to do that for emphasis. So people believe I'm thinking deep. That's how destroying. So, yesterday was my wedding anniversary, 12 years wedding anniversary. So I have my older daughter, not from my wife. But it's funny. Would I pressure my daughter? If you had asked me this maybe like 5-10 years ago, maybe I'll have said something different. But I'm more matured. And I understand that there's no pressure to it. In fact, really, I got married in my mid-30s. I married my wife on our 35th birthday. So I don't think there's any pressure to it. Marriage is a gift, and marriage is also a choice. In as much as for those in faith like me, Christian, I say, oh, the Bible said this, you know, a man shall leave his family and the woman, and the two shall become one. Wisdom, experiencing it, has also taught me that marriage is not for the faint-hearted. It's an interesting place to be. It's a place to learn. It's a place to grow. However, I don't think anyone should be pressured into getting married. I don't think it's in anybody's space or capacity to say, now you have to get married. I think we get to that point where we want to get married at different ages in life. Some are ready at age 22. Some are not ready till they are age 40. I've had people talk to me who are older than me, and they're like, you talk so mature, as if you're older than your age. I'm like, I don't understand. I am in my mid-40s looking at 50 like this, like what's doing you? And you think, and they say things like, oh, I'm married, but my husband doesn't behave matured. It seems not ready for marriage at almost 50, at about 50 years. You understand? And they say things like, oh, I've actually been the one holding the home front together. And this can be very true. Because even for me, let me not lie, I only realized I was married till my 50th year in marriage.
What does that mean?
Married but living, thinking single.
No, this is so funny. So this is so funny. No, this is so funny. My wife called me and said, Oga, do you know you are married? I said, yes. Say, but do you know you don't act like your man? I'm like, what do you mean? And I got to understand from a perspective. Because marriage is also like, you know, we all have different perspectives about marriage. And I realized that because of the way I've always worked, because I'm married in my mid-30s, because I've lived maybe independently for so long, so there were certain things that are normal to me. So I wake up in the morning, a client calls me for a job.
They go.
A client calls me for a job, middle of the day, and it's like, we need to do it tomorrow. We're flying out tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't even call. I just go home in the evening, I'm packing my bag. I say, oh, I'm traveling tomorrow now. I have a job. You have what? Did we discuss that? Did you tell me? I said, I just need to know when, early in the day. Did you call? I said, but am I supposed to call you? Like, it's job, you know? And for me, no, but you see, that's the reality. Yeah. So there were so many things I didn't see as important. Things like, I leave home in the morning, I'm expected to call you before the end of the day. Why? Like, I left you in the morning, so I'll see you in the evening.
See you later at night.
Why am I supposed to call you to find out if you've eaten? You'll have eaten now, because if you're hungry, you eat. So for me, those things, no, but it's I'm being very sincere. Yes. So growing up also, and I think I caught a glimpse of what, you know, Funke had mentioned last. We can see a lot of times we fail to understand that kids or grown people are impacted by their life experience. We're all born blank. We soak things up. So I didn't grow up in a home. I mean, not that my dad wasn't caring, but his understanding of caring is different, you know, with other homes. So I didn't grow up in a home where my dad would wake up and, you know, there was no phone then anyway. But to see in the middle of the day, we have to find a way to ask your mother whether she has eaten. Is the man leaves in the morning, he comes back in the evening, everybody is fine. So I don't think there's a need to pressure anyone. I don't think, I won't. It's not even I don't think. I know I would not pressure.
So what about the pressure that, you know, we put on ourselves?
Yes, so it's also, you know, like I said, we're born blank with nothing. We soak up everything. So it's what you're exposed to, the society, the space, you know, that tells us, oh, the clock is counting, you know, for womanhood. It's for womanhood. If you don't marry now, if you... It's a lie. I mean, in some cases, I question, I'm a scientist, but I question some conclusions that we come up with. Because when they say, oh, when you're 40, the chances of having a baby. We had our last child, my wife, in fact, she got pregnant at 40. That one, you know, it was even normal. When did we get married? When we should start having kids? So we got married, it was fantastic, everything was fine. It wasn't a big deal. I've had people who are older, you know, getting married at 45, and then they have kids normally. The journey through pregnancy is normal. So assuming things like that is really the problem. Society has allowed people to soak in so many things, the kind of conversations we have, to the point that people think. So I've heard, I used to have a friend, she wasn't 30. And she said, oh, if she hits 30 and is not married, she would definitely go and have a child. You know, she just find a man to get her pregnant. I'm like, why? She said, well, because it's getting late. I said, late for what, though? Say, you know, when I get to 30 women, I'm like, that's not true. I mean, give me points. Say, oh, but science says, I'm like, what science? Who did the research? What are the bases? The women from where? Which part of the world? As fibroid is normal here, abroad is cancer. Trust me. Yeah, if you see you have fibroid to women, they're like, oh, yeah, no, it's normal. But you know, in other countries, so when the research is based on a certain people living in a certain space, how do you sum that up? And it says applicable to everybody. So when we hear this thing, you know, we're pressured, why should you be pressured? Our journey in life is different. Some people will hit it big at 24. Some will not hit it big till they are 50. Yeah, so some will get married.
And some won't.
You understand?
Kola, by the way, he is a scientist. He's a photographer, second, but a scientist first, but a creative at heart, all the same. But let's move ahead because, you know, we have to talk about some hot gist.
Oh, okay.
Breaking news. The Nigerian passports just got a new price tag, and it's heavy.
Oh, don't tell me about this one.
It has been reported that from September 1, 2025, that's just on Monday coming, getting that green booklet at home will cost you twice as much as before. A 32-page passport with 5-year validity will now be 100,000 naira. A 64-page passport with 10 years validity will be 200,000 naira. The announcement came in a press release signed by the Nigerian Immigration Service PRO, ACI Akinshola Akinlabi, on Thursday, August 28th, just yesterday. This hike affects only applications processed within Nigeria. For Nigerians in the diaspora, nothing changes. Fees remain at $150 for a 32-page and $230 for the 64-page. Now let's put it into context. On the 1st of September 2024, the 32-page passport, which was 35,000 naira, went up to 50,000 naira. The 64-page passport, which was 70,000 naira, went up to 100,000 naira. And now, 1 year later, 50 to 100, 100 to 200. The service explains the move. They said, and I quote, in a bid to uphold the quality and integrity of the Nigerian passport, the Nigerian Immigration Service hereby announces an upward review of Nigerian standard passport fees, set to take effect on the 1st of September 2025. The review, which only affects passport application fees made in Nigeria, now sets a new fee threshold. Meanwhile, Nigerian passport application fees made by Nigerians in diaspora will remain the same. I wonder what the
whole idea.
Yeah, the whole idea is. Yeah. But the service reiterates that its commitment to balancing quality service delivery within the need, with the need to ensure passport services are accessible to all Nigerians. Well, I beg to differ. But, you know, as they say, we like to hear what people are saying on the street. So before we come back to this table, because I'm sure there's a lot to say about it, let's hear how Nigerians are taking this new development. Take a look.
All right, so Peter Obi says the obsession of this administration with putting a burden on the populace is becoming legendary and continues to reveal its apparent disconnect with the people and the suffering. International passport fees in Nigeria have now skyrocketed to 100K for a 32-page booklet and 200K for 64 pages. This is the third increase in just 2 years. In a country where the new minimum wage is only 70K, the cost of a single passport now exceeds a worker's monthly salary, probably the only country in the world to achieve this feat. Instead of making life easier, this government keeps shifting the burden onto ordinary Nigerians. It is alarming that the price of the international passport is higher than what workers earn in a month. Okay. Why is Tinubu's administration insisting on taxing the the poor to achieve his lifetime ambition of $1 trillion economy. Okay, when he gets there, what's the gain of the people? How does that impact the welfare and development of the society? Why not create enabling environments for businesses to grow and people to employ workers that will generate the revenue? They will eventually tax the people to spend lavishly on the elites and political class.
All right, this is from Pan CBNG, says they think this will stop people from making plans to travel out. If they keep increasing the cost without doing anything to make the country favorable for its citizens, people will still find a way to raise the money for a PP. Yeah. Now, as long as Nigeria still did like this, to japa na sure thing. This one from Henry Bayonle says, my dad had been asking me to get my passport for years until I finally went to get it around May last year. Actual cost and expenses totaled about 45,000 naira, and I was complaining about it. I was so livid about it, I didn't understand why it should cost that much. Now it costs 200K.
You guys just broke my heart. I didn't see this coming. Like, we just increased this cost last year. I'm still at 45K for my passport savings. Is it that the government wants to make it difficult for us to chase international opportunities, summits, scholarships? This question. Don't worry. It's a valid question, man.
Honestly.
Kola?
Yeah. What do you think?
So what do are you sure you want me to talk?
Yes,
Before they find me on social media.
Wait, but before you say anything, when is your passport due for renewal?
Must I say that now? No, but I'm lucky.
They will knock your own.
No. I did a 10 years. I did a 10 years 64. So bad as a bad app. Now that this increase has happened, I've started saving. So I'll meet up with like 6 years. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
By that time, it's already 500K.
Hey! Going by. We are plotting the ground. Oh, I see what you did there.
Don't be serious.
Sorry.
I don't think so. So what do I have to say to this? To be confusing, why? As much as I understand the need to drive revenue. I also think there's a need for balance. I'm a pro internal revenue generation scheme. However, we need to ask why. What has improved in terms of quality of life, vis-a-vis transfer? I don't want to say mine, but when I did my last passport renewal, I had to do for for people like us that God has blessed with nations as our children. I had to do for myself and three of our kids, and cost me quite a fortune to do. So imagine if we have to do that now. That would be like 1 million for 5 people. And in the economy, let's be very fair, let's be very sincere. How much do people make? Because sometimes you just need to balance things. So if you're saying people earn 70 and the passport is 100. I mean,
that's for 32 pages.
Yes.
And let's even stay with 32 because we go to the.
Because let's look at it. Nigerians will think. I hear what you're not speaking out loud. Nigerians will think, what's the point of doing 100K for 5 years? Make I just do 10 years. So that, like Lolo says, you cover that base of, you don't know whether in 5 years or 10 years.
There will be more.
Or next year,
whether price will go up.
Yeah,
so people are pretty much probably going to save for the 64 pages.
No, I'm just wondering.
It's a burden.
Yeah.
It is a burden.
It's a burden. The revenue part it seems as if that's what this administration is all about. Raising
maybe
revenue.
Maybe.
I don't know. They say for the economy, but I don't know. But it's a burden.
Have you ever been to?
We are not finished with the tax, the insurance scheme.
Have you been to passport office before?
I have.
It is quite.
It's the same thing as
tedious.
saying, have you been to?
Every time you want to go and get a passport, trust me, you have to block an entire day. You cannot do any other thing. Do you know I got my passport in Lagos? When my son, I had to go for 4 of my children. I had to send them to Borno State like 2 years ago when It was so cumbersome to get in Lagos. I was like, for God's sake, why is it so difficult? I was just looking for ease and quickness. And we had to do that at that time. Imagine what it is like.
And it was
in Lagos.
Lolo, you're not even alone on that because
And I'm
you know,
like-
I got my passport 2 years ago, and I didn't get it in Abuja. I had to travel down to Gwagwalada before I was able to get it, and I didn't get it on that day. It took like a whole week before I was able to get my passport. And seeing this, I just kept thinking, now, wow. So I just have like how many more years before
That one is-
Yes, you
that
need
one
to
is-
go
I have
again.
time to get to
Absolutely.
Gather
another
the
one.
energy to do
Exactly.
it
So it
again.
seems like
Even
you're taking
beyond
one
that,
step
yes.
forward, you
And
know,
three
and
steps
you're
back.
taking 3 steps
Yeah.
back and everything. It's crazy, and it seems like this administration has made up their mind that as long as there's so many people traveling out, they can afford to travel out, and they can afford to upgrade their passports as well. And it's crazy. It's not fair
I
at all.
think on the other hand, in addition to what you've said, I think the administration is probably doing all they can to make jack buying, not
Very
for traveling
difficult.
for tourism purposes. Now, to make jack buying more difficult, but you don't know that the more like that person, that reaction that we took,
Nigerians.
the more you are trying to force
Nigerians will
people,
find
the
a
more
way.
people
Nigerians are
they will find a
resilient.
way.
We are a
Find a
people
way.
that if we
Get that
set
money and
our
they're going to
eyes
move.
on a particular goal, we will achieve it. If they like, let them make passport $1 million. People will
If they
still
like, they should
get
close the borders.
passport and still go
But I think
if they want to
it's
go.
even wrong because this is human are by default rebellious. What you don't want them to do is what they will do.
Yeah.
So why make them do what you don't want them to do? Because literally that's what's going to happen. You increase the cost. People now have a valid reason to say, you know what, this country is hard.
Yeah.
No, I have to leave. Because, I mean,
You know,
in a country where you need, it's, okay, so this is the sad part. In a country where you need it to actually do quite a lot of things you need to do locally.
Yeah.
So let's even leave the fact that you need to travel with it. I don't know how many years we've got the NIN, but I don't know how many
use
people
it for
actually have the card.
identification.
Yes.
The NIN card.
Purposes.
I only have the slip. I've had the slip for like forever.
Yeah.
I just have the number.
You understand? I've had the slip. Where do we get the card? There's this story, there's that story, there's... So when people actually need it for something outside, because there's no identification, so data collation and all that is also a problem.
Yeah.
So you now need to look at it that, so beyond the fact that people need to travel, is that the only reason why they need a passport? If there were other options, trust me, possibly there will be less need. The first time I got a passport was not for anything than because I needed to open a bank account. I'd used my regular passport and all of that, but I needed to open a dumb account those years.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're like, no, the only means of the only valid means of identification
It's a
would be
passport.
possibly a passport. So I literally went to get a passport, not because I wanted to travel, because I mean, where is my Jero going?
It also begs the question because you said what do you need the passport for exactly? You know, they said it's integrity, purpose, and all that. But then, how many countries can you visit with the Nigerian passport without being stereotyped?
If you want to talk about that, that is a
honestly,
whole,
that's a-
that is a
So,
different
what is
kettle
the
of fish.
integrity?
They're talking about when you carry a green passport and you travel, trust me, it's a nightmare. You have traveled before that they say, green passport, stay here. And you're like, why are we on a separate queue? Because it's a Nigerian passport. And how much access do these passports even give us? How many countries can you travel to with your green passport? Honestly, they're just making it like, okay, if you're not from an affluent home, you can't aspire for more. They keep saying America is a land of dreams where people believe that their dreams will come true. Nigeria is a country that is rich in a lot of facets,
Absolutely.
but we are still poor in the things that are important.
Well, I think we would actually find time to discuss more, on this particular issue. But then let's move on to the next story, and this is the final story before we wrap up. It's a story that would definitely warm your heart and probably challenge your conscience too. Well, at least I hope. Now, imagine waking up to find a life-changing sum of money mistakenly sitting in your bank account. Now, most people might call it, hey, divine provision, oh God, don't do it for me finally. But not Faiza Abdelkader, a cleaner in Borno State. Now, instead of keeping it, she chose the high road. She returned it all. And in a time when finders keepers seems to be the easy option, Faiza showed us that integrity still lives among us. Now we have News Central's correspondent, Umar Kirawa, who covered this heartwarming story. Let's go, to Maiduguri at the moment, where we get to see this rare honesty that just became the headline.
After everyday work as a cleaner from a tertiary hospital in Maiduguri, Faiza Abdul Kadir treks home to meet her 5 children. 4.8 million naira was mistakenly sent to her bank account by an unknown person, a situation that left Faiza in an uncomfortable manner.
Miliyan 4,800. Nace to ni me kai ne? Ai ban yi kama da miliyan 4,800 ba. Shi ma akwai kamannin shi nace ni ban yi kama da shi ba. Muka ce Faiza karki ce nace komai da kamannin sa ne. Wallahi da amma ya kai sa nace inda ni ina da yin kashewa ai zan kashe. To me kai ne? Kudin kwanciya nake nema kuma ina neman na lahira ba na duniya ba.
Faiza Abdul Kadir, who earns 30,000 naira monthly, resisted the temptation to spend the money, insisting it belonged to someone else. She struggled through bank processes and queues to return the money.
Sai yau tukuna ja na ci abinci na koshin ma dazu da safen nan. In ba ka kwana na uku nan wallahi ba ce ba sha. Inda je tunanin da nake dina wallahi ba. Na zama kaman banne da hankali a cikin banki. Sai da naga kudin nan je ya karace kudin ya sauka nace alhamdulillah. Ni tunda ya fita hannuna ya je bankin ko alhamdulillah na gode wa Allah.
With her 5 children, Faiza Abdul Kadir lives in this single room provided by a prominent cleric, Sheikh Ibrahim Saleh at Gonge in Maiduguri.
Faiza wannan tana da gaskiya. Tana kama yaranta da wahala da karatu. Ba abin da ba za ta tana so ta rufe asirinta ba ta so abun na mutane. Wannan gaskiya na kowa zai mata shaida.
Shukra Allah ya rufa asirinta ta fita alhamdulillah Allah sadda shira kharba minna alhamdulillah shukra.
Na gode muku. Kawuna ma na gode mai sosai da wannan abin da ya cire mu daga cikin matsalan nan.
Borno residents have commended the cleaner for her honesty, describing her as a role model at a time of economic hardship.
Looking at this kind of social, let me say, environment we are living, that people are taking ownership of money that is not belong to them. And yet we have someone like this. Me, even something that got me, let me say, emotional. Just look at her, let me say, how she is. Look at her own conditions. But yet, all she is after, how will be her situation after she died? What will be her grave? She's not even thinking about the world. So I think, this woman actually deserves help, needs recognition.
These are the kind of women that are supposed to be supported by the government. And I think she deserves national honor by the president. Look at her, she, despite her modest earnings, she returned that money to its original owner. And it's very amazing.
Following the kind gesture, the sum of 135,000 naira has been contributed so far to support the woman and her family. Residents of Maiduguri are now calling for her recognition, suggesting she deserves support and empowerment to improve her livelihood. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umar Kirawa.
Well, this is a very powerful story, especially, coming from Kirawa in Borno State, where, hardship is the talk of the day. Imagine someone who is earning 30,000 naira a month, receiving the sum of 4.8, and, other people would have thought this is, divine provision, this is, their access out of poverty, but she decided to return it, and it shows that it doesn't matter who you are or where you are, but integrity should be the key.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kola, let's hear your thoughts on this.
Quickly.
Oh, no. I mean, this is... So, a lot of people would not, but it also shows you that beyond whatever we see, beyond whatever we say, Nigerians are people with value. Nigerians are people with integrity. Would I do the same? I will do the same. Would a lot of other people do the same? They might not. But it just shows that no matter what you say about Nigeria, you say are people of value, people with high level of integrity, people who are there who will not want to reap for where they've not sown. So yeah, it's commendable, and I give it to you. This is a clear example. This is a clear news that the world should see about Nigeria.
Well, the wife of the Borno State governor did reward her, I believe, with #1 million and some items. So it's one thing to talk about integrity, it's another thing for integrity to pay. And I think the story just encourages people to come forward, be honest, be open, and all of that jazz. Guys, I have to say goodbye.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
But it's been wonderful, wonderful. Kola Oshalusi, thank you so much for joining us. My ladies of Jasiri, thank you for being so wonderful. Thank you all for watching this whole month. We'll see you again some other time. Ladies, we'll be back on Monday with Tolulokpe Adeleru Balogo in her seat. I'll see you again some other time. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.